Yo, what is up, my people? Tis your boy, Officer Ungrateful, and we got a new Cell and Frieza LR and an early data download, and some other units at the same time. So I'm actually very excited to see what we got here because no one knew this was coming. This is kind of a shot out of the dark, especially like not even a couple days after the Cell and Frieza came out in Fortnite as skins. Like this is this is extremely unexpected, but a very welcome Christmas present. So let's jump right into the details here. Let's see. So their leader skill is a 130, so they're not going to be a summonable unit, unfortunately. These guys are going to be battlefield LRs, meaning you're going to have to exchange your battlefield points for them. I don't really remember what they're called. Maybe I think they might be memories, but kind of disappointing. I think that a perfect Cell GT, Frieza GT is like, I mean, that would have been a nice LR just to have, like, actually good, because usually these Battlefield LRs come out and they're like, you know, they're solid, but not really runnable. And we're not going to be able to rainbow these guys for a while. We still can't even rainbow the Int Shadow Dragon LR that they gave us. So let's look at these super attack effects. They raise attack and offense for 1 turn, and they have a high chance to stun. Whatever, greatly raises attack and offense for 1 turn on super, and then raises extreme class allies attack by 30% for 2 turns. So that's the same super attack effect that this, you know, the AGL 50% support Pan has, where she supers and, you know, even if you have her in slot 3, she's still supporting the units on the next rotation. Bulma kind of does the same thing, where she gets support for 2 turns. So I don't know. I really like the prevalence of this attack, and I wish they had defense for 2 turns, but they're a Battlefield LR. What can you expect? Maybe when they use the A, they'll get it. I doubt it, though. But I do like the prevalence of the support for multiple turns on units that get their buffs on attack, because these units are the ones that, you know, they super and no one's getting this buff. You know, these guys are going to be in slot 3 hidden away. They're not premium units, so it's nice that they're going to have some impact on the team with their support. If there's a Sworn Enemies, Revenge, or GT Bosses category ally on the team, they get an entrance animation. That's really, really nice. Once only, and then for 6 turns, Ki +5, attack and offense +40%, medium chance to dodge. For 6 turns from the start of turn. I do like 6 turns more than 5, because you can kind of, you know, you can put them in the 3rd slot and they come back a couple times and you still have that entrance animation active. So they do seem like a unit that you're going to be able to hide. 3 Ki, 140 attack and offense is a solid amount. 70% when attacking, also nice. All Sworn Enemies, Revenge, and GT Bosses category allies, 2 Ki and offense +30%. So this could be 6 Ki and 90% defense to themselves, or it could be 2 Ki and 30% defense to themselves. But I think as a support unit, like, at the very least, this is going to matter. I'm not sure about Revenge, Sworn Enemies, or GT Bosses as categories on their own, but the coverage on all 3 is going to be pretty solid. I mean, this AGL LR Carnival Omega Shenron that we got, that's kind of mid, is probably going to be buffed at least a little bit by this support. Even though he already has all the defense in the world, at least he has one more runnable unit on the team, you know? High chance to crit when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. Why isn't that just guaranteed? The issue with high chance to crit when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku is that what bosses whose name include Goku are there that you're fighting? Like, seriously. Like, maybe the legendary GT Goku event. I could see the legendary GT Goku event, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. Like, you're already not going to be fighting Gokus. This is never going to proc unless you're in Super Battle Road, which I guess that's something, but at that point, if it's in Super Battle Road, just give them crits, you know? If the target is in a sun, oh my god. This is my least favorite line in the entire game. if the target enemy is in a stunned or sealed status. God. Ugh. Sorry, I think someone just wrote trash all over the screen. Jesus Christ, man. Plus an additional 20% chance to dodge, that's it? And super effective against all types? Okay, listen. Half the bosses in the game can't have any effects on them whatsoever. Against any boss who matters, this won't work, except for maybe phase 1 of Omega Shenron, or like phase 1 of some, like, you know, phase 1 of some bosses that might be impactful in Red Zone, maybe, but and anywhere where it actually matters very much, that's especially for stunning or sealed. It's like, if someone is stunned or sealed and you get a 20% chance to dodge, they're not going to super you anyways. You don't need a dodge. Like, what are they thinking with that? What's going on in their heads? Yeah, you can dodge all these normals. Listen, if they're taking damage from normals, you're not running them anyways. So an additional chance, like, their dodge is only for getting, you know, getting rid of all that damage that you're going to take from super attacks. You're not taking damage from super attacks if they're stunned. Either they're not attacking you or they're not supering you. What the super effective against all types is nice, but for a free-to-play unit, focusing on attack never works because their stats are not going to be that high. Maybe I'm wrong. But like, I don't know, they get 210% attack start, like, on attack, and then up to 250 with their entrance animation. I don't see it. If the target enemy is an attack down or defense down status, plus an additional 20% chance to dodge and performs an additional super attack. Okay. I like that a lot more. A guaranteed additional super and 20% chance to evade. You see, the only issue with that is that anyone who you can fight against who, you know, is difficult won't let you lower their attack or defense. I mean, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong here, and, you know, in the last phase of the Zamasu event, you can get that extra 20% chance to dodge, like, or an Omega Shenron in the last phase, you can lower his defense or attack, then that's impactful. An additional super, that's more defense and a 20% chance to dodge. I like that a lot more than effective against all types, because defensively it's going to matter at that point. If anything, I feel like the guaranteed dodge chance should be in the stunned or sealed status, just for the extra damage, but I don't know. They seem more like a Super Battle Road unit. Active skill requirements can be activated after the 4th turn from the start of the battle when there's an enemy whose name includes Koku, or from the 6th turn. Man. After the 4th turn from the start of the battle when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. Okay. At the start of the 4th turn is fine. Fighting a Goku enemy, like I said before, that's just not happening, man. That's you're gonna be hard pressed to find that. Listen, you're not gonna see that happen until the 6th turn, and the 6th turn, at least you're getting it guaranteed. But at that point, like, the fight is almost over. So maybe they'll be able to finish some people off. And then they greatly raise attack, ultimate damage, and seal. They don't get a guaranteed crit or anything, so. Sealing is cool on active, but you see, that's not going to matter. Yeah, like by the 4th turn in Super Battle Road, the seal won't matter. And they look like they're predominantly a Super Battle Road unit, so I don't really know what that's about. Because you're going to be... By the 4th turn in a Super Battle Road event, the enemy is dead or you're dead, you know? Very rarely you're going to get to the 4th turn from the start of the battle and have that matter. It'll happen sometimes, I'm sure, but not too much. And then from the 6th turn from the start of the battle, that... If you get that in any event, any red zone, that's just not going to do anything. That's It's the same way that Boo Tanks, when he transforms, seals the enemy's attack, but you can only transform after turn 6. Like, that just doesn't matter. like for real, that actually just doesn't matter. That you can take this seals target enemy super attack and just get rid of it. Like, actually get rid of it. That's relevant absolutely nowhere. I'm gonna be real. I'm not a fan. The Dokkan Fest units that are coming out with these guys are slam dunks, but I'm not so sure. Lynx, Brutal Beatdown, Shocking Speed, GT, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Otherworld Warriors, Legendary Power. They don't have big bad bosses. Oh, why don't they have big bad bosses? Why didn't they give them big bad bosses, man? You take an extreme class unit, you give them big bad bosses, and then they're instantly 10 times better. Listen, they're raising the team's attack by 30% on super, which is something, but if it's not defense, then it doesn't matter as much, you know? Like, I think they have a good link set. Brutal Beatdown, GT, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Legendary Power are all going to be relatively, you know, you're going to get those a solid amount of the time. Shocking Speed, not 100% on. Otherworld Warriors, not so sure about. But overall, their link set seems good. It's just that being an extreme class unit, excuse me, and not having big bad bosses is just a nerf to the whole team, especially when you have that AGL Omega, who it feels like these guys are kind of meant to go next to just because Omega doesn't have anyone else to be used with. He's going to get a lot worse if you try to put him in the first slot, and that's kind of where he's meant to be. So, categories: Sworn Enemies, Transformation Boost, Join Forces, Target Goku, Otherworld Warriors, Revenge GT Bosses. Can you even... Can you use this guy on... Wait. Hold on, let me check something. Can you even use these guys on the Harudegarn team? GT Bosses... Is he GT Bosses in Otherworld Warriors? Hold on, I think Minato has the... No, Goresh has the translation for this guy. Okay, you know what? I don't know. Not the biggest fan. They're a Battlefield LR. What can you expect? Battlefield LRs, they love putting this attack or defense down, or, you know, those types of statuses on these guys. They're not... Oh yeah, look. Sorry, they're not led by Harudegarn, no. I just checked. Listen. Listen. They're mid. Oh, and Minato says they shouldn't... It shouldn't stack together. He put and, but it should have been or. Okay. So, the support will not be stacking together. So they're not getting that 90% defense. So, their support is 2 key in defense plus 30% for all these categories. And they get it too, but it's not as good as it could have been. I think if they had that 6 key, 90% defense, then it could have been different. Let's look at this Tech Tapion. He came out with the AGL one. Why are the details so small? Can I... Yeah, there we go. He has a useful leader skill for Battlefield, I guess. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Lowers attack on super. 160 attack and defense at the start of turn. Medium chance to crit. When there's a movie boss's enemy, attack and defense plus 80%. And guaranteed crit. You see, why don't the Cell and Frieza have that? What? Come on, man. What the hell? Okay. And this is going to happen way more often than you're going to fight a Goku. He is a Rainbow Orb Changer, which is nice. Movie Hero, allies, attack and defense plus 40%, so that is going to apply to himself. When collecting 1 or more Rainbow Spheres, chance to dodge, and Movie Heroes category allies, key plus 2 and 20. Whoa, okay. So he gets a 30% chance to dodge, and Movie Heroes category allies get 2 key and 20% chance to crit. What the hell? 2 or more Rainbow Key Spheres, he gets an additional 10% chance to dodge for each Key Sphere from the 2nd sphere onwards. And then if he gets 3 or more, attack and defense plus 80% when attacking. This guy's a monster. Damn. Whoa. Whoa, okay. The sub EZA coming in better than the Battlefield LR. Jesus Christ, I mean. Listen, the title of this video is going to be Fortnite collab, question mark, question mark, question mark, like, but I think this Tech Tapion is going to be the real MVP, like, the 160 attack and offense, the 80% guaranteed crit against a movie boss's enemy, and then the 80% attack and offense, plus all that dodge chance you're going to get. All allies, 2 key, and 20% chance to crit. I think that's the most crit support you can get from anyone in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the highest amount I've seen. And then, I mean, you give this guy like 6 rainbow orbs. I mean, I guess you can't. You give this guy 3 rainbow orbs, he has a 50% chance to dodge, and he's doing so much support, and he's a rainbow orb changer. But the thing is, you know which orbs he's going to change from into rainbow, which is better than random because you can save up STR key spheres, and then he's going to change them. Like, you'll be able to actually make that decision to save STR key spheres, and it'll be way easier to get this, you know, 3 or more key spheres way more consistently with this guy, as long as you keep in mind when he's going to be coming onto rotation. So I think we're going to see this guy be heavily underrated. Okay. If his defense isn't good enough to tank normals post-attack, then I'm going to be kind of sad, but I'm slapping full dodge on this guy, and I'm sending it. Like, he seems like he's going to be pretty good for the new red zone that they're adding too. And then they added some more units over here. Let me see if I have the tab open. Yeah, there's this Icarus that is going to be a collector's item. I'm assuming he's just gonna raise the level of a super attack. Why does he have a cost of 99? I can't really translate it. I don't know. He's a trophy card. You're gonna put him in your box and lock him and then never use him for anything. But kind of disappointed with the LR, Frieza, and Cell here. This Tapion is, I don't know. I like the higher quality of units that they're pushing out. I mean, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for dropping by to look at my review. And I'm gonna have a couple more videos going up today. So, peace.